You say the statement? Yes. You say the statement. You admit to me. Alright, cool. It is what it is. Now, my thing is, why'd you do it? You say you panicked.
I was fucked up.
You was fucked up about it. Okay. But my thing is still, bro, according to every G code, D code, B code, C code, whatever code there is, the number one code is, above anything else, by itself, enemies, bystanders, citizens, whatever you have, do not snitch.
Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you? Have you previously asked any other law enforcement officer to allow you to speak to an attorney about this incident? Have these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now? Sir. I'm sorry? Have these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now? No, sir. You don't want to talk to me?
Hi, I'm Katie Couric. Welcome to Eye to Eye. Rapper Cameron has made millions from his lyrics about life in the mean streets of Harlem. And a big part of his hip-hop culture is keeping your mouth shut when the cops come around. He told CNN's Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes why he'd rather be silent than a snitch.
There's this thing about snitching, and I want to get to that because I've been thinking about this for a while, and it needs an OG to talk about.
Is there any situation where you think it's okay to talk to the police?
Yeah, definitely. Say hello, how you feel, everything all right, period.
When I was coming up, it applied to me and my boys. When we did a crime together, if one of us get busted, we didn't tell on the other one.
If you had seen who shot you, would you have told police?
No.
Somebody does something with somebody in your family, you ain't gonna snitch. All right, if you ain't gonna snitch, then that means that you have to get at that nigga. Whoever did that to that person, you have to get him.
I was raised differently not to tell.
You didn't snitch because you didn't want the police to get him because you wanted to get him. It wasn't you didn't snitch because you just didn't want to tell.
A lot of people, though, hearing that are going to say that that's not a good thing.
The people that say it's not a good thing are most likely the people that don't buy my record.
Snitching it's for a criminal. If you ain't a criminal, that shit don't apply to you. It does not apply to you. No little nigga in the street that ain't doing no criminal activity should be talking about I ain't snitching. You ain't got nothing to snitch about. What the fuck are you talking about?
If there's a serial killer living next door to you, though, and you know that person is, killing people, would you be a snitch if you called police and told?
I recently seen an interview where this cat Cameron said if he lived next door a serial killer, that he wouldn't tell the police. He would just move away.
If I knew the serial killer was living next door to me, no, I wouldn't call and tell anybody on him, but I'd probably move.
So, what is he saying that he don't give a fuck about you or me, that serial killer could kill your mother, my mother, and he ain't gonna say nothing?
I'm not gonna be around because I don't need to be living around serial killers, but I'm not gonna call and be like, put the signs up like, yo, the serial killer's in 4E.
That motherfucker's out of his mind.
So for you, it's really about business.
It's about business, but it's still also a code of ethics.
What he really should have said is, he said, if I knew a serial killer was living next door to me, I'm going to get my boys and we're going to go over there and take care of that motherfucker. Okay, I can understand you don't want to call the cops on him, but you need to go over there and take care of him because next, that motherfucker might kill somebody in your family.
It's like I said, I'm raised from where we wasn't raised to tell.
You don't let nobody come in your community and do anything to anybody that you know, to your family or any of your friends' family, and don't do nothing about it. You better snitch, or if you don't snitch, you better get at that nigga, whoever did it.
He wasn't brought up to say, hey, this guy did that, this guy did that. It's kind of like, not saying go do something bad to the person who did something to you, but it's kind of policing your own community.
If you don't do nothing about it, they're going to come back and do it again. You know what I'm saying? They're going to think it's all right to just come to your household, to your block or whatever, and do whatever the fuck they want to do because you ain't going to snitch, and then you ain't going to do nothing about it either.
It's not your responsibility.
Exactly.
Motherfuckers got that I ain't snitching shit twisted. It goes for, that's a criminal code, and it's meant for criminals, and if you ain't no criminal, then that's, I don't snitch, don't snitch, don't apply to you.
In the early days in the black communities, people enjoyed telling on each other. You couldn't do anything without getting caught.
Who did this? He did.
Thousands of criminals were sent to jail by law-abiding citizens.
Thanks.
No problem. It wasn't until those people got out of jail and started killing the people that sent them there that snitching got a bad rep.
Who did this?
I don't know.
Wasn't me.
The word snitching be real heavy right now.
The worst thing to find out is when you go somewhere, my nigga, and everybody get jammed. And you think in your heart, oh, nigga, them niggas ain't gonna see you. Hell no, man. Nigga, little boo-boo them, I got caught with boo-boo them such and such. Yeah? Shit. Boo-boo them just got out. What you don't know, Boo-boo them signed the affidavits, nigga. They got that. They told me that you did it out. Yeah.
Once again, do you both understand the charge that's being brought against you and your constitutional rights? Falk? Harvey?
Yes. And one more question. I'm the only one that got charged with narcotics?
Yes.
What you want to do? You know what you gotta do.
What you want me to do, snitch? Huh? I know you don't want to give up no cops. What you want? You want gangsters? Pick one. Jew gangsters, Mick gangsters, guineas. They've been bleeding Harlem dry since they got off the boat, Richie. I don't give a no crime figures. You can have them.
I'll take them too.
A lot of people feel that no matter what you do, if you rat or snitch, that's worse. I mean, do you think there's a time in which it's good to cooperate?
Well, listen, let me tell you about that. I told you before, I never took the stand on nobody. Let me explain to you.
Well, some cases were made, Frank.
I don't care what this is. Let me explain to you. There you go. There you go.
It's not just
I can't get it. Yeah, listen, wait, hey. Who am I talking to, you or him? No, but I can't talk to both of you at the same time. One got the time, please.
All right, just talk to me.
What I'm telling you is right now, yes, I have some remarks about what I did.
Hey, talk a little slow. Can't hear you.
I said, yes, I have some remarks about what I did.
I have no regard or respect for reps, and I think they all should be exterminated. What is American gangster about? Them American reps? Grateful and Alpo and Nicky Barnes and Shirley Book, man, them reps.
Was the biggest drug dealer in New York.
You ever kill anybody?
No.
Had other people do it for you?
I guess I would best describe it, yeah. Yeah.
It was while Barnes was in prison that he suspected that the two main women in his life were sleeping with his former business partners. How could he get even? Testify against his old pals, put them in prison, become a hero to the feds. 1 year after his indictment, Leroy Nicky Barnes was convicted and sentenced to life without parole. It was while Barnes was in prison that he suspected that the two main women in his life and were sleeping with his former business partners, thus violating the code of honor that he says existed on the street.
A very attractive woman. And in New York, there are several million eligible men. Now, I told her that we have a hands-off policy to about 20 of them.
I can't think of very well. They were a couple of friends of mine that were supposed to be doing things for me, you know?
Yeah.
Well, they're doing things against me, really. And I have no way to reach out to get to them, and I want to get back at them, really. That's my primary reason.
Tell me what it is you have in mind.
They were a couple of friends of mine that were supposed to be doing things for me, you know?
Yeah.
Well, they're doing things against me, really. And I have no way to reach out to get to them, and I want to get back at them, really. That's my primary reason.
Were you surprised that he was going to do it?
I was surprised that a person like Nicky Barnes would do it.
When it comes to testifying, I testified against the guys who were Archbishop Frank James, Wally, Coco, Kenny, and a couple other guys, because I said, as far as Guy and Fisher was concerned,
I said, Guy Fisher, I gave him a woman of mine that I expected him to look out for, and I expected him to take care of her. I didn't expect him to start fucking her.
Because I had a cat tell me when I was in the county jail, he said, let me tell you something. I've been down like 25, 30 years. This dude been down 25, 30 years. He's seen a murder in jail. So he jumped on it because they was talking about giving him a time reduction. So he jumped on it. He's been in jail like 25, 30 years. So I asked him, I said, why did you tell me? He said, let me tell you something. I had life in prison. He said, I woke up 30 years later and found out that I ain't never do a day. What do you mean by that? Huh? What do you mean that he never do a day? That means if you got natural life in prison and you wake up 30 years into that bed, what difference does it make? You never going home. Right. So he said, youngster, I seen a murder. They asked me about it. They was talking about giving some time reduction. Oh, I jumped on it. Now he's home or coming home? Well, no, I never knew what happened to him because I left the county jail. As tough and as wild and free as I ran the streets and didn't care about nothing. Once I was in this predicament, I couldn't do it, Antoine. I couldn't see myself in prison, but I also looked at people like Nicky. Dudes like Nicky came across my mind, like how he put in 21 years, 20 years for dudes who didn't care nothing about him and all that. And then I look at a person like Guy Fisher who had it all. Now he's doing natural life in prison. And he got this girl out here who he probably took care of, you know, while they was together, and she's doing her thing, and she's having problems getting up to Pennsylvania to go see him or whatever. You know what I mean? You know, I talked to him on the phone. You know, he was happy to. One day I was at our house and I answered the phone, and he was happy to not to hear from me, but he was happy to know that he remembered what they did to Nicky. That he was happy just to hear that I wasn't one of his friends boning his girl. Right. Because he was like, yo, who's this? I was like, this is Alpo, man. He was like, oh, yeah, I heard about you. I said, yeah, because his daughter, I was hitting his daughter, too. Okay. And he said, yeah, I heard about you. Yeah, I heard you messing with Renee and this. And I said, yeah, man, you know, I'm here and this, that. And, if you know, you ever want to call here, if you need something, whatever. He was like, nah. He said, I'm just happy to know that it ain't one of my friends. One of his friends? Yeah. Because he was one of Nicky's friends, and they was all hitting Nicky's girls.
A New York drug dealer by the name of Albert Geddes Martinez moved from New York to the D.C. area. And he started supplying drugs to various drug dealers in the D.C. area and also in Fredericksburg, Virginia. He got immediately targeted and shot by some Northeast killers that Perry knew but wasn't really close with. And this put Martinez in a bad position.
Alpo brought in his partner, which was Wayne Perry.
I mean, this kid had DC in fear. I mean, this kid just didn't care. He was murdering everything that was moving.
When Poe hooked up with Wayne, that was the best thing that happened to Poe.
The average dude getting money down here would have loved to have Wayne on their team. And he had Wayne on his team.
Alberta was characterized as the kingpin of the organization, and Mr. Perry was characterized as the enforcer.
Poe had the money and the coke. Wayne had the power.
These his new friends.
If you're going to get something from Alpo, you best to pay it back, because if not, Wayne is going to handle it.
Ain't no freebies, ain't all that nice shit stopping.
Wayne's MO was more so than, fuck that nigga, let's get rid of him.
If you wasn't on their team, then watch out, because if you had something they wanted, they was coming to get it.
He was, first of all, in the hospital and thought he was going to die, so he confessed all of his drug dealing activities to my partner, and he just told Angelo everything that he was doing. And so he had left New York under pretty bad conditions. There were about 4 or 5 people who wanted to kill him up there. He had been involved in the murder of a friend of a major drug dealer in Harlem.
Maybe I'm a criminal. Maybe I'm just like the world. Maybe I ain't good at all. Maybe 'cause the streets done stole my soul. I'm moving like a criminal. Maybe I ain't good for you. Maybe I ain't good at all. I'm hiking up this road, but it's so cold. I'm moving like a criminal. I can't get away. Oh.
right here where I was meeting Rich that night. And I pulled up right here. He got into the van. He got into the van right here. And once he got into the van, I knew I had to lock. I locked the doors. And as I was pulling off, I was asking him, because it didn't take long after I pulled off, I was asking him like, yo, Rich, where did you get that coat from, man? That shit was good, because I wanted to make him comfortable. That shit was good as a motherfucker. He's like, I got it from my connect. I said, well, yeah. So from there, I knew he was lying. I turned to my little man. I gave him the nod. Once I gave him the nod, my little man spent, because he was short, so he could stand up in the van. Next thing you heard was the 2 gunshots. Bang, bang. Richard slumped over, and it happened. It happened right here. It happened right here.
At this light?
At this light, it happened. I'm saying, in my mind, I'm saying to my little man, yo, he's dead. He's done it. He just got hit with a 357. Twice. The only sound I heard was, him releasing his breath. His last breath. So I'm assuming that he's dead. And I need to find a place to put his, leave his body.
This guy, Wayne Perry, was considered the Michael Jordan of the murder game.
Wayne Perry was one of our most prolific killers in D.C. during the time when the violence in D.C. had just gotten completely out of control.
My lawyer was like, your ace in the hole is if they ever ask you to tell. You really need to think about that.
Wayne wasn't sure that he was telling.
They knew Alberto, there was a chance of him telling. He wasn't from here. Y'all ain't come out the sandbox together. This business.
But what they were doing was building a case. And Wayne got locked up on a whole nother charge, which right then and there Wayne knew that he was telling because they held Wayne.
So my lawyer came back at me. It was like, listen, man, they really want Wayne Perry. They want you too, but they really want Wayne Perry. And if you got anything good on him, they willing to make a deal with you.
Alpo was a smart businessman. He looked at his odds at tangling with the feds and realized that he had more information that he thought he could trade to get him out of this predicament.
The decision to cooperate was made, there was no turning back.
Perry pled guilty to 5 CCE homicides, which are murders in the furtherance of a continuing criminal enterprise. It's a sort of a drug homicide, for lack of anything else you'd call it. But once he pled to those, the plea agreement was that he would get life without parole and never have the possibility of parole 5 times. And that he would never be charged with anything in D.C. again. I said, Wayne, why don't you tell me about all the cases that you were responsible for, and that way nobody else will get charged with anything that you did. He said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. He said, so we talked for the first time down in Petersburg, Virginia, and it was several-hour interview. And he told me at that point that he was responsible for at least 50 homicides. And that he would talk about cases that he personally had done, but he wouldn't go much further than that. He wouldn't talk about murders that he had done with other people, which were fairly extensive. So I took down...
And why was that?
Well, he was not going to snitch. That was his, moral, ethical standard. But he ended up getting transferred into the custody of the Bureau of Prisons. And they sent him first to Marion, where he was the cellmate for John Gotti.
Tonight, in part 2 of Sammy the Bull, legendary mobster and hitman Sammy the Bull Gravano is opening up about his life of crime. He's admitted to 19 mob killings. He brought down crime boss John Gotti, survived 2 stints in prison, and lived under the constant threat of the mob putting a hit on him. He says he's left the life. But you never really retire from Cosa Nostra. It's a blood oath for life, until the day you die.
Gravano became John Gotti's right-hand man by doing what he was told and then some.
You actually got to a juror in one of his trials, didn't you?
I got to every trial.
he had. Either I got to jurors or I got to witnesses. I got to everybody in all of his trials.
You paid off jurors.
Paid off jurors, threatened people. I did everything under the sun.
Blind loyalty expected under the rules of Cosa Nostra in service to his boss, John Gotti.
Rigging juries and killing people on his orders. Imagine you giving every inch, every fiber of your life. You're ready to give your life for somebody. Your wife or me, whoever the f it may be. And then she or me betray you beyond your imagination. It f***ed me up beyond my imagination.
The betrayal began when Gotti and Gravano were arrested in 1990. The FBI had bugged their hangout in Manhattan. Hours of incriminating conversations that could put both of them behind bars for life. But Gotti wanted Gravano to take the fall.
I would go away and he would get out. If that's not a rap move, I don't know what is.
He said to you, you're going to have to take the fall. This is just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm the boss. The streets needs the boss, and I'm the boss. This is the way it's going to be. And I said, are you sure you want to do this? You want this to happen? That's the way it's got to be, Sammy. Okay, then let's do it. Let's do it to me is I got in touch with the government, said, F yous all, and I'm out.
Gravano went to the feds.
The FBI, in their wildest imagination, couldn't believe that I was going to cooperate.
You had to break all those rules, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To cooperate with the government, all the rules that you lived under.
I didn't have to do anything, but he broke my f***ing heart. He betrayed me. I gave him everything. This was one of the worst days of my life. That was the end of me. I'm done. I'm finished. And I'll probably get killed. I didn't give a f*** no more. Who's over my shoulder? Who's gonna shoot me? Who's gonna do what? I didn't care.
Gravano's cooperation put Gotti away for life. Sammy got 5 years, a new identity, a new face, and a new home in Scottsdale.
When I was done and I was getting out in 1995, the government asked me to go in the witness protection program. I had plenty of money. I didn't want.
How do you feel about 6ix9ine calling Snoop Dogg a snitch?
He did snitch. We put up paperwork and showing it. So he did snitch or try to snitch. Snitching is when you're telling something that you was a part of. He was just throwing stuff out there to be messy. He can't snitch because I guess he can snitch. He told what happened and he ran to the police. But hey, that's what he did at the time. What happened to Tupac? Who killed Tupac? Who you think killed Tupac? And he said, the person that was sitting next to him. We got paperwork of that statement. For those of y'all that don't believe it, hold the ball first, pull up the interview, and you can read the paperwork, the police report that the captain or whoever sent over to LAPD with Snoop's statement.
Mobbing with that nigga from the mall that we buck. Number one could get the jab, number two could get the hook. But should right behind along with 4 more ops. Niggas jump me like rope, kick me like rocks. Casino guards made them stop and I pray the lotto in the ad. Cause I ain't going out like that. Now I meet up with the homies, let them niggas know the deal. Enemy go jump me, so like Sangle got a spill. Because he rap, fuck that nigga think he ill. I'ma show him that this trip is shit for real. 40 Glock field, choice of weapon for revenge. Justice want him killed, my ego in suspense. These niggas popping pills, or they shooting heroin, thinking I'ma let this slide. So these corners, bro, we been looking for the motherfuckers club. 662, posted in the parking lot. Upon arrival, we gon' shoot. Supposed to be a panther, yet he pushing that pop roll where he done pissed off the wrong motherfucker wearing blue. Blew a couple blunts, chillin' in the ride. Ain't seen nobody yet, God must want that boy alive. Cause a 20-minute mission, now they turn to 25. Like birds in the winter to the south, we bout to fly. Slide out the lot, way to glide. Having second thoughts, and so I take another shot. Steam coming from my top. They did me so grimy. Word, get back to the city, everybody gon' try me. No. Why they had to play alone? Then Keefy screamed at it, go.
We went to eat. We was eating. Man, they came and said, "You just beat up Lane." And we was in the hotel. Yeah, at the MGM at the restaurant. There was a few New Yorkers though, who was with Zip. Like, man, y'all need some help? We got this.
That's what they said?
You guys aren't out in Vegas then with that intention. That's not why you're in Vegas.
We've been going to the fight since Pat days, you know, the 80s.
So y'all geared up to go to Vegas, and y'all was going anyway, not even knowing who else was going to be down there. Not knowing if Pac and shit was going to be down there.
We ain't had no pistol. We ain't had no pistols down there. And
Zip, who knows about Puffy's offer to Keefy, says this is a good time to take care of that thing.
Shit, it was right there. This is a perfect opportunity, baby.
That was Zip talking?
Yeah. Because of what happened with Lane. Zip offers Keefy D the .40 caliber Glock that he has stashed in his Mercedes out in the parking lot.
He told me in the lobby that he had some Jimmys.
Some what?
He had a Jimmy in that Benz. He had a little secret compartment. The thing popped out. Popped up. Popped up. Yeah.
In the armrest?
Yeah.
Backing up Keefy's story, we had a cooperating witness who was present at the MGM that night after Orlando Anderson was beat down. He testifies to the fact that he sees Orlando Anderson bleeding from the head, and he sees the group get together to start to plan the retaliation. In fact, he heard one of the guys say, "Fuck that shit. What Tupac think this is? We gangbang out here." The witness also confirms that he overheard Zip say, "We have artillery out here," meaning guns. He tells Zip, "Hey, we're gonna go handle this shit," or whatever?
Yeah, they act like, "Y'all want us to come?" I'm like, we know where them motherfuckers at. They was telling us that they gonna be at the 662 Club.
Who was saying that?
Everybody.
Everybody out there?
Yeah, everybody.
You get out of the car with Zip after everything. What do you say to him? Like, man, we're gonna handle this? Like,
yeah, we're gonna go back. He's like, yeah, show the perfect timing, you know?
Okay, then you jump out of the car, and then what happens?
I got in the van with the busters. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Lane and Cadillac with T. Brown and Dre?
Yeah.
Y'all go with the van. It's 2 cars go to 662.
Yeah, the van and the Cadillac.
Keefy D, Orlando Anderson, and half a dozen of the other Crip gang members get into 2 vehicles and drive directly to the 662 Club, where Tupac Shakur is expected to be performing later that night. They park in the parking lot, anticipating Tupac's arrival, and simply lie in wait for him.
They didn't show up. We waited about 15, 20 minutes. They didn't show up. So it's like, let's go get some liquor. And Corey, they gonna kill us, dog. You know that motherfucker, you know, got the police killing motherfuckers and all that. Man, you crazy. We stopped at the liquor store. I got out the van with their ass and jumped in the Cadillac. Them motherfuckers buster, they scared.
According to Keefy D, some of the guys are getting nervous. So he jumps in the Cadillac with 3 other guys and decides to handle it on their own.
And now, it's time to settle score. T hitting you, don't know which car they in. Fuck, shoot up they whole caravan. Hold up, I heard them hoes scream his name. Got that nigga, now put that on the gang. This is them in the beam. I think them hoes seen us. I don't give a fuck, it's too much smoke between us. Since Freak ain't shooting, car reach right across it. This gang banging shit is so costly.
Rap artist who led a troubled existence has lost.
Blow, the guy who's proclaiming to be the roughest, toughest Don Dada bully. Nigga, you got beat up and poked up and you ran to the precinct and pressed charges on us. And the really death blow, you took out an order of protection. That's like shit your baby mother does and shit like that. That's women shit.
Is the fact that I didn't say nothing when I got hit. So they're saying he's associated to this thing with this kid, and this is why they keep bringing that into this actual case. Remember all of the snitch, you a snitch, you this is now. Yeah. That's the worst thing you can be in the environment that I come up in, right? Where the snitch at in the documentary? Yeah. I'm not in that case.
Yeah.
So there's no snitch there, right? There's nothing about nothing.
By the way, too, you worked, I don't know if you want to talk about it all, because
it's too easy.
This is your room.
I can't wait.
So were you a correctional officer at one point?
I was, yeah.
So going all the way back. When was that? How long ago?
Maybe when I was 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
Officer Ricky! Damn, Rick. Why you got me up in this motherfucker, man? Is it because I said you and your mama look like the Clumps? Well, y'all is some ugly motherfuckers. Or is it because I said your baby mama's a call girl? Well, Brooke is a call girl. God damn it, nigga, get me up out of here. Officer Ricky! God damn it, you ain't even showed me a badge before we start shooting. You have to identify yourself as a police officer. I need legal representation. Officer Ricky, is there any possible way you could tell your fellow police officer friends to let me up out of here? You wouldn't have did this if you was still on slip and slide. Khaled told you to do this to me?
Yes.
I'ma get that motherfucker.
Boss.
You think you lost your shoe deal because of me?
Yes.
It's because you're a cop, Rick. Nobody likes the fucking cops, Rick. It's not my fault.
Boss.
Trick Daddy recently accused you of working as a prison guard at one point, Rick. Is there any truth to that?
No, that's not true. But that's disappointing to hear that he said that. He said that?
That's what the question said, yeah.
That's crazy.
Not a correctional officer.
No, I don't believe the hype.
All right, so one thing I want to ask you about, how do you feel about Bossa giving you the name Officer Ricky? I just want to hear it from you.
Baby, I'm worth too much money to even be, sidetracked on this carpet, you know what I mean?
No. Can I ask right now, was Rick Ross in his lifetime a corrections officer?
Rick Ross done did it all to get money.
Is that picture Rick Ross?
Yeah, that picture was Rick Ross.
You get into a space, because I believe you. When every day I'm hustling, I'm thinking that's who he is. Then you look in the back and go, wait, he's a cop. You serious? And anything else that comes out is go, okay, I can't even take this serious.
Yeah, a ninja try to play me, I'ma snitch on him ASAP, partner. Huh? A ninja try to play me, I'ma put him out on the stand ASAP, partner.
All right, you ready to do this commercial?
Oh, come on, man. Hey, I'm ready like Uncle Eddie on John Street, partner. And you know he out there right now with a tall can in his hand, partner.
Okay, count down to 3.
Already.
3, 2,
Damani.
1.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? It's your player partner tip. But this is just not any other tip. This is a tip to get all the drug dealers off the street.
Cut! Say your real name.
Okay, partner.
Say it.
Okay, partner. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something like this, partner. When we get done with this commercial, partner, it'd be best you refrain from me expeditiously, partner.
If you could find the gentleman or woman that T.I. told on and put in jail,
talk your shit,
would you please hire your lawyer and pull them out of whatever cell that it should have been out by now, I guess. And if you could produce these people with a factual story and paperwork, I got $1 million for you. Cash dollars in a bag. If any of you could do that.
Let me speak to
and
you.
if not, shut the fuck up.
Talk your shit.
Or it gon'
yeah, that's it, nigga. That's it. Yo, nigga, that shit about to come out. Nah, nigga, that's it, motherfucker. That's it. That's all you got, goddamn.
So I'm gonna make this real quick, and I want the world to hear this, right? Because no one's gonna say anything. Everybody's gonna be like this because they hate to see it, right? For the year and a half that I was locked up, I seen it on social media and I seen it on TV, on everything I seen it. They influencers, right? Big influencers with influence to influence a large crowds, audiences, and just people's mindset. Try to push the narrative like, yo, this kid is a rat. This kid is a snitch. If you say he a snitch, if this blog says he's a snitch, when he comes home, nobody's gonna fuck with him. So if we keep pushing that narrative, nobody's gonna fuck with him. If there is a street code, right? If there is a street code and there's something so-called as loyalty and everything and no snitching and all of that, I get it, right? But where was the loyalty when you was sleeping with my baby mother? Where was the loyalty when you was caught on the wiretap trying to kill me? Where was the loyalty when you tried to kidnap my mother? Where was the loyalty when you was stealing millions of dollars from me? Where was that? So who broke it first? All right, I get it. Don't fight fire with fire. I'm sorry. But what did I do wrong? Be loyal to niggas that's fucking my baby moms? Be loyal to niggas that kidnap me? Beat the shit out of me? Video and everything? I'm supposed to be loyal to that? No, you know what? You know what it is? Y'all don't want to accept the fact that those is all true facts. Y'all don't want to, y'all understand why I snitch. Y'all understand, y'all don't want to understand, right? And this street nigga stupid mentality. A nigga do you wrong and you be like, you know what, that's still my homie. This is how the streets go.
Let me tell you what ain't gangster.
That's not gangster.
No, hold on, let me tell you what ain't gangster. This is why I look in your eyes and tell you, stop trying to portray something you're not. The fact that you knew, and I can call my wife over here right now, 30 years I've been with this woman. She know. The fact that you knew the exact motherfucker who kidnapped you and robbed you, and you waiting on another motherfucker to handle it, and you didn't go handle it yourself. You know why you didn't handle it yourself? Because you didn't come up with them grassroots of knowing how to handle it and handling that type of shit. See, at this age right here, I done did it all from the top to the bottom, from the elementary shit to the serious shit, so I can convert right now at this second back to a foot soldier, because that's where I come from, right? And I spent many years down there, right? So what I'm telling you is, the fact that you knew exactly who the fuck did what they did to you and you didn't go handle it is the reason why I tell you, you're a civilian.
We're going to be talking about snitching, right? Because, let me tell you something. When I see people post something up about people that be snitching, people be in the comments like, oh, if I was to get this and that time, I'll snitch too, I'll snitch too, I'll snitch too. And this is my thing, right? This is my thing, right? When it comes to people like be like, oh, you a snitch. Robbie, stop interrupting my life. Babe, can you call Robbie and tell him that I'm on live? Babe? He interrupted my life. All right, so let me tell you something. When there's like, when you are just a regular pedestrian, when you like a regular person in life, and you in a situation like, you know, you probably were in the street and somebody robbed you, or like somebody's abusing you, or you know some fuck shit happened. You know, we don't tell people like, oh, don't go to the police, oh, don't snitch, don't that. If you're a regular person, I don't know, you do what you do. But if you are in the streets, if you commit yourself to the streets, right? If you commit yourself to the streets, if you are in the streets, there's an oath that you take. There's rules in the streets. You're not gonna be selling drugs. You're not gonna be committing crimes, and the crimes that you commit are street crimes. And then when you get locked up, you're going to snitch. It doesn't work like that. Like you have it's like you have an option in life to be good or bad. You have an option in life. You have an option. You don't have to be in the streets. You don't have to gang bang. You don't gotta be gang related. Being gang related is never forced. You choose to be in a gang. You choose to be in a gang. You choose to be in the streets. You choose to deal with somebody that's probably selling some. Choose that. So if you choose that, you know you know that you might have a chance of getting arrested. And if you're doing something that you might have a chance of getting arrested, if you know that when you get arrested you're going to snitch, then you shouldn't fucking do it in the motherfucking first place.
We can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. But I need some information, and I need it right fucking now. Snitch, 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 snitch.
This your motherfucking conscience, nigga, don't even do it. Don't start acting like a bitch, cause you forgot where you going. You made choices that done put you here, and now you just ruined. And I don't care about why you did it or who got you influenced. Nah, don't listen to that nigga, that ain't good advice. If you cooperate, then it's your chance to save your life. Just tell them what they wanna know, and you won't pay the price. Someone call it snitching, but for me, I call it make it right. Man, fuck that make it right shit, you gotta sit to your bed. You should've thought about this shit before you did what you did. Give a fuck about your family or your bitch or your kids. You either gonna respect the code or you gonna get what you give. Who gives a fuck about the codes? No one follow codes. We both know that jail ain't the place you wanna go. Somebody fucking on your bitch, you tryna call a phone. If I was you, I'd tell them boys everything they wanna know.
Donkey of the day for Friday, February 2nd, second day of Black History Month, goes to Roland Collins, a.k.a. Troy Ave. Now, Troy Ave is in a lot of legal trouble and has been in a lot of legal trouble for a while. He was hit with 5 felony charges for his role in the shooting at Irving Plaza that happened in May of 2016. May of 2016. He was indicted on 1 count of attempted murder and 4 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. And his bodyguard and friend, Ronald McFadden, was killed in the gunfire spree. R.I.P. to Banger. Now, the other piece to this situation is Tax Stone. Tax was indicted for firearm possession as a felon, and he was indicted for second-degree murder for the killing of Banger. Now, I don't know what happened in this situation, but 2 people who clearly do know what happened are Tax Stone and Troy Ave. And this week, Troy Ave released an animated video for a record called Too Legit to Quit. And it is safe to say that Troy Ave let MC Hammer down. Because on this record, Troy Ave seems to discuss his recollection of the events at Irving Plaza, and he hints at testifying against Tax Stone in court. It's an animated video, so when you watch the video, you see him shooting at someone in a T-shirt that says unsafe, though. Tax Stone's signature phrase was be safe, though, so it's clear who Troy Ave is talking about. Let's hear some of the bars from this record.
Sucker fire, I got hit. Dang, I beat him up and took his piss. Right out his hands, I was blown to make him rip. R.I.P., he was scared and he was swift. Tables turned and watch him flip.
All right, I beat him up and took his pistol right out of his hand. I was blowing to make him R.I.P. He was scared and he was swift. Tables turned. Now watch him flee. Okay. Now let's play the line about him taking the stand.
I'm only loyal to my fame. It's true. Middle finger from the stands. Either me or you. I will send her out to hell. Lead showers,
Okay, I've heard enough. I've heard enough. I'm only loyal to my fan, middle finger from the stand. It's either me or you. Troy Ave getting his Nino Brown on. If I go down, I'm taking everybody down. This bigger than me.
Because of everybody wanting everybody in hip-hop to be this tough macho guy, when these two actually ran into each other, it ended in somebody dying, somebody being shot, and, of course, other bystanders being shot in a loaded motherfucking venue, Irving Plaza. Now, we saw Troy Ave in the immediate aftermath. He got locked up. We saw the video. He was shooting on camera. That was pretty self-explanatory. He's going to get locked up for that. Tax Stone was later arrested. He was arrested on bringing the gun to Irving Plaza. Allegedly, he bought it or got it from somebody out of state. And also, he had it in the venue that night. Now, after hearing what the police said in the federal case, where he pled guilty, by the way, to having the gun, purchasing the gun, and having that night, everyone was saying, well, if that's all the facts, somebody's going to get charged with murder. Because somebody died and a murder charge got to come down. Or at least, the very least, a manslaughter charge.
We call him Ratstone. Facts. But we want to say...
Why do you call him Rat?
Why we call him? He wrote a fucking letter to the judge talking about crimes that I'm allegedly was involved in.
That's a lawyer, though.
What do you mean that's a lawyer? How's that a lawyer? How's that a lawyer? You pay your lawyer. If you say, hey, Troy Ave and his friends, they shot these people. I'm not in jail for that. You blow them, not saying you blowing me up, but I'm not in jail for that. Now, what if they want to investigate me into that and I go to jail? Come on, dog, don't do that.
So what is your choice of revenge? Because for me, another situation, I'm not even gonna bring up the other situation. Somebody stabbed my cousin. I ran down on him. Police pulled up. These went to the precinct and put all types of statements on me. But they was gang members.
Mm-hmm.
I said nothing because I wanted them to be free so I could catch them later.
Right.
Are you gonna play that role?
In the life...
In your situation.
And I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
In the life that I came up in, I've been through that many times, tenfold.
Right.
I've been through this pulling up, guns out, like real life shit like that. The name of the game is to win. You gotta look up at the scoreboard, and at the end of the scoreboard, if you up, you won. I don't have no, like some people be like, if I'm a good person, like in real life, so if somebody do bad on me, like I wish anything on them, everything bad. How they come, it go.
Right.
Nigga, don't stop being gangster when the police, when it's time to go in them rooms.
Stay gangster.
Stay gangster.
I always tell a nigga.
That's all I'm saying.
I tell my whole hood, you know the police can't give you no time.
Stay gangster.
So don't tell them that. When they lock you up and they want to question you or anything, just at least buck on them. Like, make them feel like you ain't gonna tell. Like,
it's crazy, man.
Do you feel like it matter in the rap game?
Dude.
Tell him.
No, it don't matter. You know why it don't matter? And I'm saying it don't matter to the rappers, a lot of rappers, because a lot of rappers, this is what happened. We think that all rap is now street rap.
But it don't matter if you're a street rapper or not. Oh, you are allowed to tell because you're not in the street. You're a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
No, you shouldn't tell because it's the wrong thing to do.
Doug, you talking about you talking about you. A lot of these niggas is in the game.
Now to a developing story for rapper Young Thug. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, will make his first public appearance since his initial arrest in May. He's one of more than 24 people arrested as part of a sweeping gang indictment.
Take a look at this. This is Young Thug, who of course his real name is Jeffrey Williams, flashing a smile, waving to his family and friends as he entered the courtroom Thursday for his first public appearance since his arrest in May. Now his lawyer Brian Steele is hoping to not only get him a bond, but he's also hoping to argue several motions dealing with evidence and statements ahead of January's trial. Now, Young Thug, of course, is one of more than 24 defendants named in a sweeping gang indictment. He's accused of being one of the founders of Young Slime Life, YSL, a criminal street gang that prosecutors say is behind murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and armed robbery. Now, of course, his defense says YSL is not a gang.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Right now, some breaking news for you. Atlanta rapper Gunna is a free man. And here is video just into our newsroom of Gunna walking out of the Fulton County Jail earlier today. He pleaded guilty to racketeering conspiracy charges. There he is in the black hood, moves very quickly right into this vehicle that was outside. Gunna was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but the guilty plea means he gets out now on time served. Gunna's arrest was a part of a massive gang indictment against him, rapper Young Thug, and several other alleged members of the Young Slime Life gang.
And I got a motherfucking question. Why the fuck is everybody in my business?
Gunna. Did Gunna fold? Do you consider that ratting?
Listen.
Snitching? I mean, where does it lie?
I try to defend Gunna, right?
Okay, let's go.
I try to help Gunna out.
All right, let's go.
Even when Boosie first came out, when Gunna first played out, when Boosie first came out with it, I was being petty and trying to do a video to combat that. Like, Boosie, you don't know what you're talking about, man. But Gunna, he just need to come on hang with me.
God damn. Come to the comfortable place. Come where you're safe.
Because this the problem, man. Now, I don't think he knew that he was being recorded. Cause I think he might would have had the lawyer to close the court, seal it up,
shut some shit off.
I know this. He can still take the fifth, so he don't really have to get on the stand. But this is the problem. The judge already gonna be biased towards a Young Thug when he go to trial because one of your main men has admitted this is this. Right, it's gangsters too, it's this, and this. So now, when your lawyer tries to object, y'all gonna be like, man, get out of here, man, because your man already said this, so it's already in his head. So now, what Young Thug need to try to do is try to put it and get a whole new venue. Just go, I want to move my trial somewhere because I ain't gonna get a fair trial here.
I had a real respect for gangster and the stories I heard about him, but that leave with me. I have no type of respect for him anymore.
Terrence Williams, better known by his street name Gangsta, getting released from prison, hit the public. It was quite a surprise since he was initially supposed to be serving life. The fact that he was out like that was a little sus for many, implying that he may have snitched to get released. Because of that, we saw Lil Boosie completely destroy Gangsta for telling on his homies. So who is Gangsta, and what did he do to piss off Boosie so hard?
You haven't seen the paperwork. He could be telling you that just to be telling you that on fucking camera. You
Right.
know, he about to set up 100 motherfuckers. You know, that's how that shit go, man. You stay solid. Nigga. Some of us gonna make it, some of us ain't. That's just how it gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You can take that gangster shit off your name, man. Real shit, man. That shit hurt me when I heard about that shit.
Why do you think that Baby didn't embrace you when you got out?
Because of me sitting at the table with the authorities about the dead home, about these murders. If I was still in the streets, my thing is, okay, you sat down, you saying you did this, but what else you told him? Or did you tell him anything else? So just because you, and then you gotta understand this here, Birdman is big. So now, this is a big celebrity now, you know what I'm saying? So now.
The biggest.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So now with his name out there, so I come home, face clean, a true stepper, I'm right there with him now. I got the Phantom, the Ghost, all these cars now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can't really put me in the videos and rap about, my brother just did all this time. He a stepper, he did it or this.
Yeah.
Because they're
They gonna put you in the song. Yeah, you in the video and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem is, your brother did all that, but he a rat. He a snitch, we don't want to hear that. So now he got a choice to make. Man, listen, I can't rock with that.
Tip explained that both he and Toot were facing gun charges, and the police pulled them over and discovered a gun in their vehicle. Toot passed away before the case went to court, so T.I.'s lawyer advised him to say the weapon belonged to his deceased relative to avoid getting locked up.
My lawyer said, well, I can make everything go away if it was Toot, if it was Tramel's. And I had a talk with Toot.
And what Toot said?
Posthumously? Yeah. After he had passed, I had a talk with him.
And what Toot say?
Toot said, I take all the charges you got. If you can walk away free and put it on me, goddamn right. Because I'd be damned if they gonna come and motherfucking extradite me from here.
Now, in a response video uploaded to YouTube on Monday, December 5th, Terrence Gangsta Williams compared Tip's scenario to his own, which involved him providing information on dead friends to prosecutors in regards to 2 murders. In the video, Williams clarified that he got out of prison by telling on the dead.
I never mentioned that I got out of prison just by telling on the dead. Go back to Vlad, do your homework. I said I got out under the First Step Act, but Birdman was upset with me about me telling on the dead. And that was part of the reason I got out, because that was put into motion. Go back and do the homework.
Birdman's brother went on to say that regardless of what people think, he owns up to what he did and that he's in his own lane. As for T.I., he made it clear during the aforementioned podcast episode that he doesn't consider what he did to be snitching.
So is that what boys giving you shit about because you put it on?
Nah, hell no.
Okay.
Nah. Don't nobody even know about that. I just volunteered. Don't nobody even know about that. I'm just being honest.
I can dig it.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
That's the only time I done never said or gave no information about nobody, because that's my cousin, my big cousin. He was dead, and he told me that it was okay.
Always. So you got the job doing what? I get paid to snitch now, nigga. It's really classified. I can't even really talk about this shit, my nigga.
Oh my God.
I don't reason I'm telling you because you my boy. But don't fuck with me. You see what I did to Roger. You seen what I did to Roger. 40 years. He had 40 years? 40 years, bitch. You didn't want to sign that plea? 40 years. Dang. Don't fuck with me. 40 and up, what you get with me? Bro, you happy about giving people Nigga, that you know how much motherfucking money they gave me for that? How much? $200. And I went and got them new J's. I had to borrow 30 more out from my grandma, but I got them new J's. Pen leather. You happy about snitching on people for $200? When the last time I had $200, D?
We can't consider Megan like a snitch though, because she
What?
told. Can we? Or is it a double standard like that?
I feel like it's a double standard. Like, because back in the days, if a girl had a fat ass in the hood and told on 2 niggas is still gonna mess with her. Think about it.
But she felt like shit.
No, just think about it. Back in the days, if a girl told on a nigga and she's a bad bitch in the hood, she's bad. She got a fat ass. It's never considered snitching when a woman tell to me.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
Unless you took down some big niggas, some kingpins, or some crazy shit.
Tekashi did what rats do. He took down his whole empire. Meek got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. But my problem with Meek is shots fired at Tekashi for being a rat. But my question is, what is you doing coming out of the court? with this FBI agent, this informant that took down a cartel. So now we picking and choosing who can snitch and who can't. She took down a drug cartel. That is the definition of rat. She took down big dogs. And Meek, you with her. You supposed to be the street dude from Philly.
First and foremost, Happy New Year. I hope 2022 is better than 2021 for you and your family. Flip the Script will be back. We're working on some things now. We changed a little bit of things, and we will be back. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about snitching. Let me tell you how the topic of snitching came up. So I was in the studio, and a group of guys from the Bronx, shout out to BX and B-Next, they admire the Flip the Script platform. And they questioned me how I could have a conversation with Alpo. Now, shout out to the Bronx, you know. I had my run-ins with the Bronx when I was a kid. You know, I never really got along with the Bronx until I met some guys. I met at Madison Square Garden, a guy named Miami, and all that got me in the Garden. Bronx, BX, they showed me mad love. I just felt like I was from there. You know, because when I was younger, my family lived there. They had a restaurant out there, a Jamaican restaurant. And when I got up the train station, it was just so crazy. They knew I wasn't from there. But Miami and them showed me love, and the BX dudes at the Madison Square Garden, Dipset versus Locks. It was amazing. You know, I was waiting for Cam. I ended up waiting for him inside, but they got me inside through the security. And then I met a guy named Dice Peso, and I like him a lot. You know what I'm saying? Him and his homies showed me love. His Oakley, you know, the dudes are solid dudes, man. Show me love and reach out to me to make sure I'm good. So the Bronx have become, you know, sort of like a cousin to me. And then I be on 183rd and Creston, those guys over there. But so I was in the studio with the Bronx, and they was talking to me about Alpo. How can you talk to Alpo? You're a meteorologist. How can you do this? How can you do that? And I had to explain to them that if I was these reputable journalists, you see, because I gave myself the name meteorologist, not meteor. And I'm not going to get into what meteorologist mean. You can look up the definition. I came up with that word. And meteorologists, we stand alone. We do the non-biased journalistic work. Even though I'm Mr. Bias, I think I can do what I want because I made the rules, but still it's supposed to be non-biased nonetheless. And I explained to him that I talked to Alpo because I wanted answers. I explained to him I wanted answers. I always wanted answers. I was tired of playing telephone. I was tired of listening to other people. Now, you heard this rhetoric before from me, and I get it. But today, when this video is different, I'm going to play some audio where Alpo tell me why he snitched. It's a short clip I'm going to play. But let me say about snitching. I don't agree with snitching. I'm from the Webb and Nitty era. A lot of you know who Webb and Nitty is. Webb is home now. Nitty is Nitty. I spoke to Nitty the other day. And I was with Green Eyes the other day, and they were just telling me about things pertaining to snitching and what we don't stand for. It's not in my cloth. So I never agreed with it. But I feel like I had to compromise who I was in order to get the real story, because the game telephone is he said, he say, he say, he say, he say, he say. And by the time I get to you, the story done changed thousands of times. We are loyal to this false aura, this false folklore. And what I mean false is meaning that it's not a person. It's just a principle that we're loyal to, that no snitching, you come out and you stand strong. Now, a lot of men in there standing strong by not telling. They did the crime, they did the time, and they stood on their square, and they realized it, and they did it with honor. Salute. Salute. And I don't agree with snitching. I don't like it, never did. A lot of people, they're not honorable like that. A lot of people don't live by that certain creed. A lot of people don't live by that law. When they're faced with these large amount of numbers, they make these decisions. And they make these decisions to suit them. And that's what Alpo said. You'll hear it yourself, what he said. Do I agree with it? No. But I was able to tell him how I felt. I was able to tell him about the principle and remind him the society that he stood for and came from. I was able to tell him I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff. And this is why I'm able to move the way I move, because regardless of what, I'm still a man that stands on principle.
Now, you want to start a Boy Scout snitch organization?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna teach and train young boys what snitching is, what telling is, and I wanna create a Boy Scout organization. These niggas start telling in school. They the niggas who raise their hand and say, teacher, can I take names, and tell you who talking when you leave the class. They the ones in the hallway writing down names in middle school, dropping notes to the principal, to the kids with the bloodshot red eyes that look like they on pills. So they can be law-abiding citizens and great neighborhood watch crime people. We need to train this. We training killers and gangsters. So we need to train, nigga, some confident, snitching, tatter-telling young man that ain't scared to tell on now motherfucker. And teach them how to fight too. So if you fuck with them by telling, they'll kick your ass. Yeah, we need some strong snitches, nigga. And they proud of it. That way, it helped curb the violence in the communities.